Hey there, artsy people. Welcome to my third composition notebook art journal series. I'm making a glow journal. I take cheap composition notebooks and turn them into fun, beautiful art journals. And I'm almost done with this one. I have I think 4 pages after this one. So yeah, I'm going to start with a blank page. And actually, it's funny because I don't even know if these were glued together at first or not. But anyway, and I am starting with gouache. Ha! I said it right. I kept calling it gouache, and my daughter, who's not even really into art that much, is rolling her eyes at me, going, "Mom, it's pronounced gouache." And I go, "Oh, okay, rhymes with squash." Yeah. Okay, so gouache is similar to acrylic, but it is water activated. I think that's the main difference. So it's really thick and has great opacity for the most part. Here you can kind of see through it, but it is really thick. You could make it opaque very easily. And the main difference, though, being that acrylics, once they're dry, they're pretty set. And I guess with gouache, you can reactivate it with water, which I'm not too concerned about that because I don't plan on getting my art journal wet, right? Okay. All right. So I always keep a piece of paper behind the pages I'm working on just so to try to avoid, cross-contamination. And this is a sheet of gift wrap tissue paper that I thought was super fun because it already had these cute little dots and swirls all over it. So I'm using Mod Podge, and I'm going to collage or decoupage or however you want to say it. I'm just going to put it on the page. That's what I'm doing. I like how when I put it on the page, you can it's kind of transparent, and when you get it wet with the Mod Podge, and so it just kind of melts into the background. It almost looks like, and by the end it'll almost look like I just drew on the page. It does add a little bit of texture, which I like as well, but it's fun working with this. I like it. So I'm just going to squish it in the crack there, the gutter, and just fill it in around my green gouache. Oh, the reason I got gouache, I kind of like saying gouache, is because somehow my husband earned the Amazon Vines status, which is when you leave a bunch of reviews, they, by invitation only, invite you to become part of the Vines team. I don't know why it's called that, but where you can get free product. You have to pay the taxes, but you can get free products if you leave reviews. So I was like, yeah, if there's art supplies, sign me up. I can help with that. So that is how I got some free gouache. So I got let's see, the green is it's 96 yellow green, and I've also got metallic orange yellow, which comes out more like copper. I haven't used it on a page yet, but I did kind of smush it on some paper to see what it was like. And yeah, those are from Art Whale. I will leave links in the description below. And then I also got a little haul from Temu. And I figured, when the tariffs kick in, I think our Temu days might be limited. Yeah. So I got some stencils, and I'm just kind of checking them out. I like these are kind of they look kind of spacey and retro, which I think kind of goes with this whole swirly business. So I grabbed my blue neon glow paint, which does not really glow very well under the black light. But if you've been watching this series, you know that I'm trying to put some glow paint on every page. So anyway, I just kind of had that in the background. I dried the page before I moved on. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I show you that I just use a hairdryer to dry in between layers, and sometimes I just edit it out so you don't have to watch me, put a hairdryer over the page. But be sure to do that. If you're moving stencils around the page, of course it's gonna, smudge something that's still wet. So dry in between layers. And then I like to overlap my stencils a little bit, so it just kind of adds, the more that you overlap, the more kind of depth it starts to feel like. Oh, look, now you get to see my hairdryer. It's just a regular hairdryer. And then I got this little stencil, which is kind of fun. And I don't know. I go back and forth. There's some stencils that I think are a little bit goofy. Like this one is like just a rows of X's, which I guess it would save time, right? If I didn't want to create my own little X's, but it's not really that difficult to make X's on a page. But stencils are fun. So yeah. So I'm using more glow. You'll see at the, well, you saw a glimpse of the glowness of my page when I started this video. So. And here's my mug of the day that my beautiful daughter, who's 16, made by hand. There's a better shot of it. Isn't that cool? I'm just so impressed with her. Yeah, so she throws pottery on the wheel and then she glazes it and does all kinds of cool stuff. And then I get like a cool new coffee mug. Okay, so now I am doing some Asemic writing. And that is just when you kind of sloppily write. You don't even have to actually make actual words if you want. You can just kind of make marks like you're pretending, like you're 5 years old and you're pretending to write in some ancient language that doesn't exist anymore. Like that's kind of Asemic writing, but it's really relaxing. So I highly recommend it if you are, you know, just want something to play around with. This was just me like thinking out loud my thoughts, and I am pretty sure I have ADHD, and so my thoughts kind of go everywhere. So it was kind of fun to just be able to like write all over the place. So I used a little bit of white gel pen and some other little like micro pens. Okay, so now I'm just making some areas that I think I'm probably going to write in, and I know I'm covering things up that I've already done before, and that's okay. So I think when we first start doing art journaling, that's kind of one of our like weird fears to get over, is covering up something that we've already done. But the more that I do it, the more I kind of like it. Like it's add mystery. Like, ooh, only I know what's underneath that. So it's, yeah, you know, it's all about the process. So this is some green glow dots. So I'm just kind of tracing around my little circles here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I don't think I need to narrate every step that I'm doing because you're watching it. So I will, I'll speak up again when I feel like I have something interesting to add. Okay, I'm back. This is kind of interesting, right? What is that big thing? Okay, so these are glue bottles, is how they're marketed. Oops, I put my arm on my page and it was wet. I do that a lot. Just thought I'd show you so that when you do it, you don't feel bad. It's not just you, it's me. I don't have enough room for my G, so I added a little bit more black and then dried it, and now I'm gonna write my G. Ta-da! I like to go back and forth between upper and lowercase, and I make them big and small, and you can just make like wonky fonts, and it's fun. So my quote of the page is, everything will be okay. Sometimes we just need to remember that. I mean, I feel like I was very fortunate to have a pretty positive childhood. Like I had parents who really loved me, and so when life, you know, just got hard sometimes, and you know, I was bullied, and there were some hard things in life. I felt like I just had that security, and they just had this this love and reassurance for me. And sometimes I still go to my mom, am I gonna be okay? Yeah, but just that feeling of safety, you know, when you have like the trust of a child, and you know, and I feel like I can put my faith in God that way. Like everything is going to be okay. I mean, yes, the world is going to poo poo beep, and it's scary and wild and all that junk, but you know, it's going to be okay. Everything will be okay. So maybe you needed to be reminded of that. Even though we go through hard stuff, it's going to be okay. Okay, so I grabbed, you like that? Okay. So I grabbed some more Posca markers, and now I'm going to play around with some marks. And what am I doing? Oh, I'm going to outline my little quote here a little bit more with some Posca markers. So I wrote it in the yellow, knowing that it would kind of fade into the background as it dried. But some pages I do this and some I don't, as far as the glow paint, outlining or writing my quote with the glow paint, because it's kind of blobby, you know, so sometimes it looks a little bit goofy in regular light. But yeah, I wanted to be able to see the quote when you turn on the black light, and so that's why I wrote it with the yellow first, knowing it would kind of disappear, and then I would outline it with some color. So that's what I did there. And I'm using a couple different pinks there. And I had just used up this glue stick, so I'm taking the cap and using it like a stamp. It's kind of fun to find just random objects around your house, or if you've got like old Legos or toys that were your kids, or you know, sometimes I've picked up things at thrift stores that would make interesting stamping tools. So this is just the lid to a glue stick that I just used up. So I'm making like little circles, which I think circles are officially my favorite shape. You know, they're just so round. Yep, there it is. Okay, so the words are a little bit too blending in, so I thought if I brought in some white, it might help. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to make sure the black is actually outlining the words here in a minute. But I'm going to do some mark making with white, because you can always add some interest to your page by pops of black and white on any color. So now I'm just outlining and making sure my words are you know, consistently popping off of the black instead of kind of just disappearing into the background. Yeah, I had to play with this a little bit, but I think you get the idea. whoa, my lighting changed, everything changed. It's the next day, and I was editing the video, and I got to this, I just like that white looks like whiteout to me. So I decided to go back in with my fine line marker and just kind of add a little bit more detail. So I'm adding like these little pinstripes to the white area, and then I'll add a little bit more pink neon glow paint, and then that should wrap it up. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you will come back and hang out with me again. I hope that you're inspired to go make some art of your own, and just remember, everything will be okay. Have a super great day. Oh, did you see that I tried to put the cap from the paint onto my marker? Okay, I guess I'm not done signing off yet. I'm just adding more pink dots because you can never have too many dots. Okay, I'm really done. See? Ready? Right? Ready? Ready? Ooh. Isn't that fun? See, now you can see the quote because I started with the glow paint. Anyway, have a super blessed day. Love you.